Welcome back to this week's episode of Ultras 11. I'm Jose.
And I'm still Al. It's 2024, and I'm the same guy.
No new friends.
No new friends.
Like, new phone, who dis?
Me and Joe right now, we're new used this year. We're a little bit used, but we're all new, baby.
We're new, yeah.
We're back better than ever.
I actually signed up to the gym like everybody else in the world did.
January 1st, gym day.
But I didn't actually go to the gym, though. Like, I didn't work out today.
Just signed up.
Yeah, just signed up. Baby steps.
Yeah. You got to sign up, and then you start committing yourself.
Once they hit me with the price, I'm like, wait, to like get back in shape, I need to spend this much? Yeah, it's everyone does.
So this is what I need to pay to get back into shape and have my health back. Yeah. Oh, okay, yes.
Now we wonder why everybody's fucking fat. Respectfully.
It's a lot cheaper to be fat than fucking skinny.
You literally could get a meal that fills you up for for dinner, like whatever, at McDonald's for what, $15?
True,
go grocery shopping. That's a fucking 6 of limes.
Remember, it's not worth it to go to the gym as your New Year's resolution. It's going to cost you a lot, and it's not going to last very long. So that's the little gift that we're going to give.
That's the fun
share
fact
with you guys today.
Of the day.
Yes.
But on that note, we like to actually start off by saying Happy New Year's. Merry Christmas if you celebrate Christmas.
Happy Christmas and Merry New Year's, guys.
Yeah, we hope Santa Claus was generous to you. He was nice to you.
Hopefully.
You're motivated for the new year ahead. We all went on a Christmas break. Well, I didn't go on a Christmas break. My Christmas break starts now, which is weird, but honestly, I'm not going to complain. I have 2 weeks off.
You get what you get and you don't get upset, Joe. Remember that. You take it. We take anything.
Yeah, I was going to say, wait, why'd you just confuse me there?
Yeah, we take anything. I say we take anything. Joe, hey, it's a break's a break. Well deserved.
Speaking of breaks, how was your break, Al? What'd you do?
Honestly, it was the most perfect break because I did absolutely nothing. Spent some time with friends, spent some time with family, and did absolutely nothing. And I loved every second of it. My days consisted of chilling, playing FIFA, and just relaxing. I probably ate, a little bit more than I would have liked to.
It's okay.
But hey, it's a little bit of Christmas weight.
New Year's.
New Year. We shred before the wedding. Got to get cut down. Got to look like.
That's right, actually.
Got to look like the Rock, as some would say.
I'm trying to look like the Pebble, so I look like a smaller version of him. But on that note, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
How did your Christmas go? Out of your holiday? I know you're starting now, but how was your holidays?
I worked.
Like
a dog.
That's the life, man. That's the
honestly, work was actually even entertaining. Everyone was happier,
you get a different vibe in there when it's around Christmas.
You get the summertime vibe that everyone's happy it's summertime, and then the Christmas vibe. There's everything in between just sucks. Everyone's pissed at you for no reason. You could give them everything they want, they'll still yell at you about something.
It's true. This is very true.
But besides that, just like the new year, there's a new beginning. There's a lot of false promises. You will get like my New Year's resolution to get back in shape. But it also marks the halfway point in the season officially. The transfer market opens up again, meaning even more false promises of deals happening. Your teams run the risk of losing players, or if you're Roma, you're doing absolutely nothing because you have 1.5 mil to spend.
I don't think you guys are doing much with that 1.5 mil, but
we're just vibing.
Might not be too hard of a January for you since you already know the budget of it.
Yeah. So to get right into everything here, we just talked about the Christmas break. Let's talk about how soccer actually has its own Christmas break as well. Some leagues.
Some places.
Some leagues. Bundesliga takes 2 weeks off. Italy used to do that. They used to basically the whole month of December and a little bit of January they were off. But they stopped doing that. Prem was always full throttle.
Yeah.
So just quick little easing back into this because we haven't done this in a hot minute. Do you think a Christmas break is a good thing or a bad thing for clubs?
I mean, you know what? I don't know if you remember. I don't think it was last year. I think it was 2 seasons ago in Serie A. They did the same thing in the Prem. They played on Boxing Day, and then they played on New Year's, not New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve.
On New Year's Eve and New Year's Day.
Yeah.
They had all the games, just like the Prem. They're trying to do that. And you know what? Us being at home, there's a game on, you're like, holy shit, forgot soccer's on today. Yeah. Got something to watch. So it was beautiful, man. Christmas, Boxing Day, we usually do something at my house. So we didn't this year, but it's always nice when we're doing something, you throw on a Prem game because they're on, and you have something to watch. But in looking at it from the big picture, I do like what the Bundesliga does.
Yeah.
You have these guys working so hard, the beginning of the year, everybody's playing, so many games. There's already a lot of injuries people are dealing with. And I feel like it's just kind of a way to kind of give back to the players and say, you know what, thank you. Go take this 2 weeks, spend it with your friends, your family, whoever you're going to spend it with. Go enjoy it. We'll see you back here in 2 weeks, and then we'll start off fresh.
Yeah.
People need that. I feel like the players, they need that little mental break and even just like a physical break.
Yeah.
Because of how many, especially nowadays with how many games are being played. And the second half of the season, everyone knows how much more difficult it is and just how much more pressure and how much better teams play that, throughout the year, they're last place or sitting at the bottom, but then they're beating first place teams. So like, I feel like you just kind of, it would have been a good thing, throughout all leagues, you kind of see them say, okay, hey guys, sorry fans, you're not going to have soccer for 2 weeks, but 2 weeks off, we'll be back on this date here, and then we resume from there.
I agree with that.
That's personally, I've always said it. I do like it. Don't get me wrong. I loved it when Serie A did it too when we were playing those days because, again, we do Boxing Day here, so it was like, that day there, we had a couple games on. You can actually watch something. It's fun. But in the bigger picture with the players and everything, and especially we talk about how they're playing too many games and how, now there's so much more games and everything's so much more crushed. Give them the 2 weeks. Give them a little break. They deserve it.
From an entertainment point of view, it's like you said.
It's amazing.
Obviously, like I love to watch it. I have these 2 weeks off. Like I'm going to be looking forward to watching every single game I could possibly watch right now. But it's like you said as well. Like this is crunch time in the season. Like this is what kind of makes or breaks you. You have Champions League that heats up. You have international friendlies that are heating up. You got the League Cup that's heating up. You got the league itself that's heating up. Like. This is that final stretch, and that's always the most tough stretch. This literally makes or breaks a lot of teams. Like you could see, like you said, a last place team get out of relegation finally, like beat every top team. You could see that top 4 change so much like whatever. And it's nice if they were to get like that break because then they could come back. They had 2 weeks off. Some players that were injured before the 2 week break,
they recover.
They have more time, whatever.
Exactly.
They have them back. You have like a full team most times and whatever. So in that regard, it's good. I'd literally only say the only con of it is from an entertainment point of view and financial point of view per se.
Yeah,
they're not making any money. It's like whatever.
But Joe, I mean, with the millions of dollars, billions of dollars. These like the leagues and the federations and everything they're making, they can afford to give their players 2 weeks off.
Yeah,
spend with their family, enjoy the holiday break, and then you come back that final stretch, and then you get the summer off. Some people will, but you got Euro Cup this year. So it's like bang, bang, bang. You're going to have no fucking break.
Exactly. So that's why like any break you could offer these players, these athletes.
Give it to them, man.
You know what? I'll even go as far as saying like I look at like American sports a lot with this. And like my cousin, it was Christmas Day, we were eating dinner, like whatever, and we were all sitting down on our phones, placing bets about the games that are going on, Lakers, whatever. And my cousin looked at me, he's like, yo, LeBron hasn't been with his family on Christmas Day for 17 years. Yeah. And I'm like, damn, like obviously he's making all the money in the world. Yeah. His family's probably watching him play. They had dinner before, whatever it is, whatever. But it's still the principle that, like they're providing us an entertainment. They're providing this for us, whatever. And, they're still playing their game. They're like, they're athletes. I get it, whatever. But I don't know. your heart kind of goes out for them, especially a guy like LeBron, 17 years of straight Christmas days. Like he's playing a game. Like it takes a toll that, he has to rearrange what is a natural schedule for most people. Yeah. He's now changing it for others. And I don't know, feel bad, but hey, that's why you get paid the big bucks.
Exactly.
And
that's why they're making the big bucks.
And that's why I'm spending money on hoping you perform well. Like I don't know. Changing the topic, we did mention earlier that it is the Christmas break. Well, not Christmas break. It is January. So that means the transfer market is open. We're not going to talk about what each team should sign, which players.
Everybody does that.
Me and Al throughout the week, we're going to go on Twitter. We're going to do like a little thread of each team, what we think or who we think they should sign given their financial abilities. Yeah. We're going to try, see how that works out. If you guys like that, you obviously could comment. Let us know if you think that deal would be good, realistic, whatever. So in Italy, though, it's a little bit more complicated than just signing a player right now.
Isn't everything so complicated?
Yeah. So, it isn't complicated, but it is. It is. When we talk about a realistic signing now for these Serie A teams, it's getting that much more difficult because they have just recently announced an abolishment of. It's called. I might butcher it. I know I'm Italian. I should be saying it probably. The Decreto Crescita.
Yeah.
I think I said it right. I don't know.
Pretty
Correct
sure
me if
that's
I'm wrong.
right.
Essentially, though,
That's pretty good.
it's literally just like a tax break.
Yeah.
So before you all start thinking, what the fuck is this? We will explain to you what this is. Basically, it's essentially like a tax break that these teams get when signing foreigners. So, like Italy was able to, the league, sorry, these teams were able to offer higher wages in order to compete with the likes of the Premier League, La Liga, Bundesliga, and stuff like that. And it was only available for skilled workers. It was essentially happening to actually bring economic growth back to Italy.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just actually meant for soccer. It was meant for just like in general, they wanted to populate Italy again, get the economy back going. So they would give a tax break. Rather than paying 100% of taxes, you were only paying 50% of taxes. So that helped Italian teams a lot, actually, because then they were able to sign guys like Roma, for example. We're able to sign Mourinho because of that tax break.
No.
Out of the 10 mil he's getting, with the tax break, Roma only pays like 7.5 mil. So, and then like obviously Mourinho, though, he's still getting that full amount. It's just what comes out of Roma's pocket is that much less, That's essentially like the rough, bare bones assessment of it. That's the best explanation I could give you. The rule's supposed to start kicking off in February.
Okay.
That's when whatever. But in saying that, I see it actually happening as soon as possible for these Italian teams, right? Like I see this January transfer market, they're not going to spend what they maybe would have.
They're all going to prepare themselves.
Yeah. So, Al, the first question I have for you, what kind of impact does this abolishment of the tax break have for the league itself, or have on the future of the league?
Well, I mean, like Joe, I feel like already just by looking at it, it says enough. Like you saw the difference in the league with the players that were being, and not just on. I'm not just talking about Juve here. Like throughout the league.
Yeah.
Like the players that were getting brought in, the money teams were starting to like kind of spend and bring in this foreign talent to help grow the league. And you saw, man, for the 9 years that Juve was dominant, you didn't really see any growth happen to the league other than Juve. It's like nobody gave a fuck. Everyone's like, yeah, well, we're just gonna go show up, hope for the best, and then see what happens. Now, like you see these last couple of years, the players that are coming in, you see Italian teams beating out, whether it's Prem teams or other teams, to sign players because they actually want to come there, and and this whole benefit helped that big time. Now, taking that away, I feel like you're gonna see a lot of teams that weren't prepared for it get hit really hard, and I feel like it's I don't think it's not gonna not make the league just drop all of a sudden, make it worse. I just feel like now at this point you're just gonna kind of see it plateau, which is you don't want that to happen. Like you want to keep growing, you want to keep getting better, especially when there's better leagues. You want to kind of get to their level, so you want to keep doing slowly because you're not gonna get there in one day. Rome wasn't built in a day. It takes time. It's a process. But now you're doing this. You're kind of just saying, okay, let's put a halt on that, and then we'll see where it goes, and everything's just gonna now just stay the same. Progressively, I think it'll kind of start going back unless you start seeing these teams start making adjustments and changes. Yeah. Teams, and I'm sorry, I don't want to say, oh yeah, they got to follow Juve, but especially the top teams, they got to start following Juve suit, what they did with that next gen. People will talk about that. That next gen was one of the best things Juve did. Before that, I'd even look at you too. I'd be like, man, our fucking youth program, whatever we're doing, absolutely sucks.
Yeah.
Like, all we had was Marquisio to really look from. That doesn't really matter. So for us now, it'll be a good thing. We can grow our youth. We actually have proper youth that have played in a competitive level in Serie A. So they kind of like you see the guys coming on like so far this season. There's not that gap anymore when you bring these youngsters in. Before, you see these youngsters come to Juve and they almost wouldn't make it because I don't know if it was the pressure or what it was. They just couldn't live up to it.
Yeah.
Now you're seeing these players come in and they're fitting right in. It's beautiful. So you see a team like that, no problem. But a couple years, teams like Milan, Inter, Napoli, they're not really like looking at their youth. They're not investing in their youth. They're just trying to see, okay, who can we bring in to solve this problem and that problem and that problem. And now with this, you're not going to be able to do that as easily as you were before. Yeah. It's going to be a lot tougher for the teams, especially because none of us in Italy are fucking us. None of our teams in Italy,
I get what you mean.
You know what I mean? Are rich.
Yeah.
Not like the Prem. they got money. They're, everyone's at Juve's, their owners are rich. Roma's owners, they're rich. But money in football terms,
They're broke.
They're not nowhere near
I
the
agree.
teams in just even as a Prem. Never mind, La Liga has their own problems, but somehow they still keep getting money.
Yeah, they open up another financial lever.
Yeah,
whatever
but
that even means.
Like it's way too, you can't even compete with the Prem. And now with doing this, I feel like you're gonna see that gap kind of spread, and not just that gap, even the gap. I feel like from now you're seeing like a lot of these teams in Serie A, these mid-table, bottom-table teams that they're making some moves that actually like the serious ones, and they're fucking doing good. Like you see like the progress they're making and like how good they've been doing the last couple of years. How much of an effect is this going to have now on them? How much are they going to start dropping down and go back to what it was before that? Roma go and face Frosinone and they're okay. This is a cakewalk. We got this game. Now, like you kind of face them and like, dude, even when we faced them, I was like, okay, fuck, you got to play it smart because like we almost tied the game.
Yeah.
You got to be careful with these teams now because of like the ones that took advantage. Frosinone being one of them. They made a couple good signings this summer. They filled up those spots. Yeah. They were able to do that. Yeah. Now with this, these teams might be a lot more limited. Yeah. So you're not going to really see these teams grow. You're going to see them again plateau, start going back downhill, and you're not going to see. And I feel like I don't know. I want to see what happens with this, but for me, I personally, I think it was wrong to stop it at least now.
I'm indifferent about it. I'm going to be honest with you. Like for me, this is my thing, right? I think this whole tax break, okay, yes, obviously we saw Roma benefit from it. We saw Inter, we saw Juve, we saw a lot of teams benefit from this, especially because like you said with Frosinone, we'll use them as an example again. They could go to Brazil, Argentina, Uruguay, whatever, spend $1 million on a guy and then sell him for like the next year for 10 mil, 15 mil, and that could help balance their books. Because investing in a youth project like Juventus did, that's going to cost a lot of money for teams. And a lot of teams don't want to front that money because you don't know if it could flop or if
you don't know how it's
going.
You don't know the turnout.
So that's why, like, when you see like those smaller teams, like that, I worry more so for like them.
Yeah.
And I feel like the gap between a top team and a bottom team. And when I say bottom and top team, I'm literally just speaking about not even like ability wise. I'm talking about financial ability.
Yeah.
Like unless Frosinone, their owner is an oil guy, and I don't know about this, and he just doesn't want to put any money in his club. I don't know, but for me, like that's how I'm differentiating right now. Like Juve is a top team financially in the league. They're not very comfortable, but their owners put their money where their mouth is, stuff like that. They invested in a youth project. They will be fine in the future. I think it's long-term teams would have better stability, so to say, because it's like you're now investing within. Like my youth product is coming for free instead of dropping, even if it is like 500K a mil, whatever.
Yeah.
That's 500K or a mil I didn't pay because I'm literally just promoting a youngster to my senior squad. And the profit margins, we all know already, are way larger on that than somebody else.
Yeah.
So like in that regard, I think that will take time before you start to see like the progress and these teams actually like stepping up and like becoming more stable financially. But I think short term, you're going to see a huge gap. And it's like you said, it's those teams that are trying to make the leap forward. Like, what's their name? Bologna.
Yeah.
They signed a lot of players from the Eredivisie. Atalanta, who's known for getting players from the Eredivisie Belgian league. And then
how good are they going to be in a couple years?
You know what I mean? Like now they're going to have to solely rely on their youth. And I'm not saying their youth is bad.
No, but they've had a system that they've been doing now.
You know what I mean?
It's been working. It's been helping them. And now how far back are they going to fall by because of this now getting taken away? I know what you mean.
In saying all of that, I do think the youth aspect, it should. In a hypothetical universe, the youth project within Italy should be thriving then.
Yeah.
Because that is how you make your money, A, and B, that is how you save money.
Yeah.
And like this law came into play in 2018 or 2019, something like that. Yeah. What were teams doing before then? Roma announced that they're in another, like they are losing another 140 mil on top of their 300 mil debt already. So like this goes to show maybe this tax break wasn't good enough for them.
Just give you an example. So if you look, I'm pretty sure it was 2019. What happened 9 years before that?
Oh, is that Juve's dominance?
Yes.
Yeah.
And who, other than Juve, who cared in the league about the league? Nobody.
No.
No, but you had Roma the 1 year because they were probably one of the smartest teams. But no, not my 1 year. It
No,
was like
I was
2,
gonna
3
say
years.
2,
It was like
3
2, 3
years.
years.
When we had
That they looked at
Nangolan,
it. They looked at it and said, okay, hey, not saying it's going to be easy to beat Juve, but right now, nobody's even fucking giving them
no
a
one's
fucking
even competing.
competition. Let's go, make a push. Hey, what's the worst that happens? We come second?
Yeah.
Dude, they gave Juve a couple of years a run for their money that they brought it right to the fucking wire at the end.
Yeah.
They were the ones that took advantage. Napoli, a couple times too. They saw the situation, they took advantage of it. But throughout those years, these small teams, I feel like weren't as threatening as they are now.
No.
The big teams couldn't get anything going until this rule came in. Everything changed.
Well, look, and if you look at that too, going back to even that, you look at the way these clubs were. So like Milan, for an example, right? Milan under Berlusconi, that like at the beginning of the 2000s, late 90s. Look at that dominance they had.
Yeah.
They had the Dutch connection. After that, they had Kaká, they had Ronaldinho, they had
Brazilian
Maldini.
connection.
You know what I mean? They always were doing well, and then they hit a point where money wasn't coming in anymore.
Yeah.
Success can only bring you so far if you don't have an actual project in place. You know what I mean?
True.
And that was what Milan's logic was, though. Let's keep winning, and we'll still be at the top.
We'll be fine.
Right?
We'll be fine.
No, that bit them in the ass because the money caught up. People stopped giving a fuck about that. They wanted a Cinderella story instead. They wanted the loyalty again. They wanted the love, the passion, this and that. Then look at Juve. I criticize Juve a lot. I say they fix stuff. I say they do this. I'll always bash Juve. But the one thing I've always said, and anyone will attest this, is Juve is the only team in Italy that runs their team properly.
Yeah.
Agnelli has always had a business look about the squad, which I get it sometimes suck because some of the purchases they made were for branding purposes, and that's fucking annoying.
Yeah.
But when you look at that, I respect that because look, that 9 years of dominance, there was no tax break, but they still had a dominant team. They still went to Champions League finals. They still dominated a league. Okay, yes, the league was dead. I get it. Blah blah blah.
But again, like you said,
but they capitalized on weakness.
They still went to 2 Champions League finals.
Yeah.
So like they weren't that weak. Hell, they lost in both, but keep in mind we lost to 2 of the best teams of our generation.
You know what I mean? And that's the thing that I keep on saying, like, Juve has always been prepared. Okay, yes. Now you could say they were fudging around with the books and they got caught for it. Yeah, okay, yeah, they got caught. But now that this tax break is done, who's the most equipped for this?
Yeah.
Juve, because they invested in their youth. And I see the whole league. I think the youth ideally should be growing now. Like this is a big wake-up call for them.
Yeah, big time.
But I just feel like it's also gonna go on a downhill trajectory right now in regards to investment opportunities from abroad, broadcasting.
Yeah.
Ownership, like if you want to sell the club, it's not going to be as valued as you once were because of that shitty tax break now. I do, again, I'll go back to
all the progress that they made now, they're just throwing it out the window.
Exactly. It's the progress they made, and now it's just going to relapse because, again, since 2019, you saw it wasn't just Juve carrying the torch. Then it became Inter decided to be dominant too.
Then
they started doing very well. Milan,
Napoli.
Napoli. Okay. That's the thing.
Napoli was dominant last year. I know they dropped off. Everyone saw it coming. I'm not gonna lie. They're gonna definitely go for 2.
That just falls down on their owner being
I called this
arrogant.
last year. Exactly. I said I called it last year. But yeah, okay, they might not lose. A major player. They still did in Kim Min-jae. You see how important he was now to that team. But they still kept most of their their attackers. They kept the core of the team. But I called it, man. They were dominant last year. They were very dominant. Like they were a tough team to play and to beat with Spalletti. But after that, you knew they weren't going to be as dominant anymore, man.
Yeah, I personally
right place, right time.
Personally, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm kind of excited for it.
For what? For
this. I know I sound crazy, but we won't harp on this. I want to ask you. Obviously, we mentioned Juve. Is there another team, or we could even just talk more about Juve and how it benefits them? But is there any other specific clubs you see benefiting from this? What's the word I was looking for? Abolishment of the rule.
Abolishment. I mean, it's tough to say right now. Another team other than Juve, and not even just because it's my team. If Roma was doing what Juve was doing now, and we weren't, I would say straight up, Roma's that team. They're the only smart ones that actually, said, hey, let's be prepared for any situation. Juve did that. They started this next gen thing a couple years ago. you've seen the results we're getting, the players that we're getting out of, Fagioli, Miretti. Now you're getting Yildiz, what's his name?
Iling
Nicolucci,
Jr.
Iling Jr., like Sule, who's doing amazing at Frosinone right now.
Even, I
Barnechea.
was gonna say, yeah, there you go.
Kyle George, he's not from there, but he's still another youth product. And you're seeing these guys and how good they're playing this year and how much success. Yeah, okay, you know what? Like Joe said earlier, you have to invest. It's a lot of money to start it up. You got to, to start the team. You have to have a place for them to train, the stadium, whatever, all that stuff. Yeah, it's going to cost you a lot of money, but the money you're going to get from it in the end,
yeah, dude,
it's going to be incredible because at the end of the day, yeah, okay, I know all these players now on Juve aren't going to stay. They're going to have to sell them, but when you start selling your youth product, that's pure profit.
Yeah,
like that's the most profit you can make. Most profit you can make in anything. So, like it just makes the most sense, and I feel like Juve were the only team really prepared, especially like even like top teams or small teams. Because like I'm trying to think of like other teams too, like maybe Sassuolo, because like I feel like they've got it, but like they're also another team that they just kind of pull other people's youth products and build them to something. I was
gonna say like Sassuolo's a
like
good
they don't really
example,
have
but it's more so
they don't really have a youth system. They're just good at they have a youth system, but they don't grow their own youth.
Yeah,
they don't have the farm.
Yeah,
they just help the guys grow and give them, that take them to that next step, but they don't actually grow them. So like other than Juve, like I'm not even trying to like I mean you can if you have one, you tell me right now. But other than Juve, like I don't really see anybody prepared in that situation. Nah. Like and I'm not just saying this because it's you. I could say Roma. Only reason being
Bove,
Pellegrini, like in recent years, and not even, Roma's always they've always had I feel like a couple guys from the academy always coming up to like the team. You saw like the growth, and you're still seeing it now. So clearly they're doing something right there. Something's good happening there. Maybe they just have to kind of polish it up and bring it up to like standards now.
Yeah.
But they have the right idea, Roma.
Yeah.
They have the idea. They just maybe need to make a couple little tweaks. But other than that, like I don't really, and like I mean, funny enough, hey, it's our teams, but I don't like generally.
No,
I'm trying to think. I'm going in my head.
I'm
like Lazio, no. Milan, no. Inter, no. Napoli, no. Who else? Fiorentina, not really.
Maybe at a point I could say Fiorentina.
Dude, Joe, everybody on that team, they fucking signed.
Yeah, no, but that's what I mean. Like, looking at it, like it's tough to say because ever since this tax break happened, I feel like every team started investing in foreign talent.
Yeah, or it's gotten better.
Or it's like you said with Sassuolo. Sassuolo doesn't really have a youth academy that's great,
but they have a good youth system.
They have a great youth system that it's like, oh wait, Roma, you don't want to use Pellegrini right now? Yeah. Okay, give him to us for 2 mil, and then we'll grow him. Yeah. In 2-3 years, you have a buyback of 15-20 mil. That's how they make their money.
Scamacca doesn't fit your team? Yeah, we'll take him.
But that could maybe still work for Sassuolo. Yeah. So maybe I'll put them in that bracket just because
they're in the maybe bracket.
Yeah, because they could be that team that helps the bigger teams in developing those youngsters that don't have what Juve has in place. Yeah. I could say Genoa. I would have loved to look at you and said like Palermo, Parma, because throughout history they were known
even
for
Genoa
this.
Right now, two of their best players are fucking our youth products.
But that's what I mean. Like you look at that, and it's genuinely tough to look at these guys and say like a youth. Like that's the thing. I'm drawing a blank too. Lazio, like you said, sucks. Fuck them. Napoli at one point, I would have said Napoli was that team that was very good at growing youngsters. Their own youngsters.
Yeah, but like
now I feel like they've
fallen off after like
they've lost the plot a little bit there. The only other team I could maybe see like a Bologna, because Bologna has like those youngsters, whatever. But again, like it's like a finer version of Sassuolo.
I feel like Bologna, it's same like Genoa. I feel like their team is built on youngsters, but it's like failed youngsters from like everybody's teams.
Yes.
Like Bologna is a mix of like guys that didn't work from Inter, from Juve, from Milan, from Roma. Yeah. All the guys just didn't work. Maybe they were too young or whatever. They're all there now. And they just ended up there and they just built something and hey, they're doing pretty good. Yeah. But I feel like that's just what those teams are.
Yeah, it's tough to say. I'm hoping obviously like people start taking youngsters a little bit more seriously because let's get real. The league itself, maybe this is going to be another wake-up call. The league itself doesn't worry about young players. You know what I mean? So it's like it's one of those moments that it's like they have to take a step back and say like, hey, why not give it a try? Like I personally as a Roma fan, I can't complain. Yeah. Because it's like you said, every year we have some sort of youngster coming, developing. Like we've obviously
Ro-
lost
like,
some
Roma's-
players I
Roma's
would have
been
loved
pretty
to have
good.
kept as youngsters, like Volpato, for example. Would have loved him. I would have personally looked at you and said, in the grand scheme of things, I love Dybala. Obviously, he's one of our best players. But I would have preferred to see him go.
Yeah.
Because he commands a larger weight, a salary, and transfer
Everything.
fee. And then
he
kept
is-
Volpato.
And he's not
grown
even
him.
guaranteed to play.
You know what I mean? Like Volpato, whereas like he's a youngster, 19 years old. We already sold him for 10 mil.
Yeah.
So if there's a market for him now at 10 mil, give him another years under proper growth, that doubles, that triples. You know what I mean? So like I would have loved to have seen certain things like that. But let's hope Roma now learns. I understand we're in a bit of a financial fair play dilemma, obviously, as usual.
1.5 mil.
1.5 mil is all we could spend, baby. But anyways, continuing on with this last little question I got for you, Al. The lack of foreign players would mean that, like, well, should be at least, that there's going to be an emphasis, like we've been saying, on Italians or Italian talent in general. But as we obviously think, do you actually think this could benefit Italian football? Not the league. The Italian national team.
Yeah. Like the Italians and their setup. Like with this, I feel like I'm on the fence. Like I could see it being a good thing. You know, I now I see that they can be focusing more on Italians, trying to grow these Italians, and you know, you're not really focusing on, you know, bringing in foreign players. Like you're using what you got. So like, you know, some of these guys that maybe might have taken a backseat role compared to someone, you know, coming in from Argentina, but now they're going to be getting that more, like the more playing time. The only thing with it is two things. First of all, I feel like then there won't be any like competition within the teams. So like a lot of these Italians that maybe might have, you know, not made it or just not been used as much, being used more just because they're lacking to fill certain roles. So like, hey, you know what? You're a left back. We can't sign a left back right now. We don't have a left back. Just play there. Just stay here. You know, hold your position. Guy's not good, but he's just playing because that's all they really got. So you might see kind of, you know, turning to that. And, you know, then I just, again, man, I just think back to the 2010 to 2019 when Serie A football was, you know, at its worst and probably one of the worst at that time. And then I look at the Italian national team and it was fucking horrible throughout that time.
Yeah.
Like we had a team that, like, I don't care what anybody says, if we actually had like a half decent team, Giaccherini and Graziano Pelle would not be on that team.
And Eder.
And
Marco
really?
Parolo.
Like you're like Parolo, I could see squeezing in maybe as like a fifth, sixth option fucking center mid. Hey, buddy, you know what? You got experience, you're coming with. But the other guys, man, the teams that we put together and like the scraps that Italy had and Conte somehow made look half decent is absolutely incredible to me. And that's my only fear is I look at that time there when, you know, we didn't have this whole thing and you know, things all of a sudden, dude, 2019, this thing started, you saw the league grow, you saw people actually want to come here, you see Serie A actually be considered as, you know, a top league again, and you saw Italy win a Euro Cup in this time. Before that, what the fuck happened? After 06 and before the Euro, nothing.
Okay.
Italy was fucking shit. And I feel like it's just, I don't know if we're going to get back fully to that stakes. We have like a really good core already of youngsters that are kind of in that middle age of proven, but they're still young. So like we're still good for a while. But I feel like, again, it's just going to plateau and it's not going to bring Italy to that next level. You feel like a
relapse is.
Yeah, like, man, like, I don't know. Like, I honestly, like, I see what you mean and I'll agree, but I'm also indifferent with agreeing because, okay, you referenced 2010 to 2019. Now, what about before that, though? You know, from when we were born, 95 to 2009. That was a different era, man.
But that's what I mean. That was an era of no tax break either.
Yeah, and that's when like Berlusconi and Agnelli were like the richest families in football.
Yes, but it was also an indicator that. But you look at every team that was doing well in Italy, and honestly, I'm gonna say in Europe as well because Italian teams were dominating. We're not dominating, but competing in Europe as well.
You saw in a fucking Champions League semifinal was Inter, Milan, and Juve.
But that's what I'm trying to say. And you look at the core of those teams, it was Italian.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, okay, yes, obviously Milan had Clarence Seedorf, they had Shevchenko, Crespo, Jaap Stam, Dida. The list goes on with these fucking legends. Yeah. But you still look at the core. They had Nesta, they had Maldini, they had Zambrotta, they had Zambrotta, yeah.
No, Zabrotto's on Juve.
Didn't he play on Milan as well?
Yeah,
briefly?
later on. Like,
Yeah,
fucking retired there,
Don't
man.
worry, don't worry. Gattuso, Pirlo, somehow Ambrosini cracked that star-studded lineup and was the captain of the team when Maldini wasn't there. Boggles my mind still, but whatever. Then you look at Juve. You had Cannavaro, Zambrotta, Buffon, Grosso. Well, Grosso came afterwards. Del Piero, like the list goes on. Roma, we never really. We were known for
Totti De Rossi.
Totti De Rossi. Aquilani was supposed to be crazy.
Was it not Bertolacci? What the fuck's that guy?
Bertolacci was the guy.
No. He was a center back. The long sex hair he had.
Mexis?
No, man, he was Italian.
Long sex hair.
Yeah, he played on Roma, dude.
Panucci?
Not who?
Panucci.
No,
Crazy.
dude. He had a crazy name too. Oh my god, man.
Oh, Federico Balzaretti.
Dude.
Or balls are sweaty.
Dude, long sex hair.
Yeah, he did.
Come
I think he might be in the industry.
That was pretty accurate description of it.
Yeah, it was. And I thought for a while he was dating Diletta Leotta, and I got excited for him. But anyways, my thing is, like, you look at that. Why was it so dominant, though? Because Italians were given the chance, though. The Italian youngsters. Del Piero debuted at what age? Was signed from Padova at what age and debuted for Juve at what age? Totti, same thing. By 20, he was captaining Roma. I know, obviously, Roma was never a dominant team like that, but it still goes to show that Italians were entrusted. And that's the point I'm trying to get at. Like, and maybe this will force club owners or teams' hands in regards to, like, you have to use these guys now. So I'm hoping it's like that kind of mentality push instead of that 2010 to 2019 era
That's
push.
what I mean.
You know, like,
hey, well,
it all just depends. And
only time.
I hate to say this, and I think this is how you know it's 2024, not 2023. I would agree with Napoli's president with what he said.
Yeah.
When De Laurentiis came out and said you have old people that don't know the sport at all running the league itself in Gravina, you're going to see this league not running properly. Yeah. And he is 100% right. Now, I think De Laurentiis is a part of that old community that should retire.
He's, but he says some stupid things. He is 100% correct. He's an arrogant prick sometimes, but I will give him that. Him and even the other guy I hate. And I know you hate him too, Lolito.
I'll never. He's
stupid. No, but there's some stuff that even he mentioned this too. And
I did say
he was right. You admitted it. Dude, like these guys here, as much as we hate them, when they speak the truth, and
you have to call a spade a spade. You have to call a spade a spade. And like it's stuff like that. Like you have retired legends like Baggio, Del Piero, Totti, whatever, that aren't involved anymore. Maybe they have something on the side, of course. Yeah, sure. But why aren't you looking at them and saying, bringing
them back in there?
Why don't you run the league? Yeah. Why don't you be a part of our FIGC board, Players Association, this association? New,
fresh ideas.
You know what I mean? Like, it's still like that story your dad told me about Baggio preparing like a 200-page thesis on how to better Italian youth and this and that and whatever, the game as a whole. And they just laughed it off and said, "No, we're not listening."
Yeah, we're not doing
that. Like it's stuff like that shows the mentality of the dinosaur mentality these guys have.
Yeah.
And that's my fear. Yeah. It's
going to go right back down there.
And that's what I'm afraid of. But switching over.
You're not wrong there, man. That's what happens when you have those kind of owners, running the show, like you said.
Yeah.
Don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
This is the outcome that you're going to get.
It's just sad. It's sad. But switching over to on-field stuff. A few weeks back, we talked about how seasons are long. Lots more soccer is being played. We had the random World Cup in the middle of the year, and then players were demanding to go right back right after it's done. Yep. A lot of things, this and that. Fast forward, present day. We have something called the AFCON, a.k.a. the African Cup of Nations. There's also the Asian Cup. Don't think we forgot about you. Similar to the Euro, the Copa America, the specific continent trophy, whatever. This is the hardest stretch of the football calendar, as we mentioned before. Everything's heating up, and there are going to be a lot of key players that are going to be missing from their respective clubs. Like you look at the Prem, for example. You have Spurs and Liverpool. Spurs are in top 5. Liverpool's in first right now. Spurs will be without, who is it? Papa something Sarr, Busuma, Son, and then you have Liverpool, who's going to be missing Salah, which is arguably
their best player.
Even actually arguably their best player. So their absences mean even more to these clubs.
They're going to feel it the most.
Besides Spurs though, and Liverpool, because now I feel like that's cheating if I ask you the clubs. What other clubs could you see struggling with this off the top of your head? Like,
I mean, off the top of my head, the main two for me, other than the ones that you obviously said, is gonna be, I know he hasn't been, the greatest this year, Onana, but not having him and having to rely on your backups, it's still your starting. That's what I mean. He hasn't been the greatest. People are like, oh, okay, whatever, maybe it's better he's gone. But at the end of the day, you're gonna notice, and you're relying now on backup goalies to win you games, to help you in these games, and you're just left without your starter for who knows how long.
Mm.
I feel like that, like United probably feel that the most, and I mean, probably the other one, your boys, Roma, just for the simple fact, and then like I didn't know this. So on the weekend when Juve played Roma, and like the commentator mentioned, they're like, oh yeah, Roma's gonna be without Indica because he has the African Cup. So they're most talking about them because of how short your bench is with center backs. So like, yeah, he's gonna be missing. So we got to see what Roma's gonna do. And I was like, wait, so I had to go look it up, and like I was like, holy shit, like you guys really have nobody. Like him missing is like that's literally.
It sucks because we play a 3-man back line, and we literally only have 3 starters. He's been
really good, man. Like for a guy that like has come in, and he hasn't been exponential, but he's been very good.
I personally like him a lot.
He's been really solid.
He's calm, collected, fast.
First couple
strong,
games, I was like, yeah, maybe this guy's not going to live up to the hype of him. But like slowly, every game that I've watched Roma, he's impressing me. Like he's playing very well, and like I feel like Roma missing that, especially given where they are in like that, you're not in a comfortable top 4 spot, but you're also not far away from it. It's a shitty situation because, man, let's say he's gone for 3-4 games. That stretch right there can completely change your season.
Yeah.
You lose those 4 games, you're dropping right down. To gain that gap after, especially at the second half of the season, it's going to be tough.
If they make it to the finals, Cote d'Ivoire, he's gone till February.
Oh yeah,
longer than February. Like it's like.
So I remember that happened when it was Mane versus Salah.
Yeah.
Like Liverpool was struggling. Like even he was saying, like, it's good to see, like, hey, one of my players are going to be coming back a champion, but I mean, it sucks because they're both there, and I haven't had both of them for this long. Exactly. Like, it sucks, but it's good. Like, other teams, like I don't know, every player right now, but like for example, like Milan, let's say, yeah, okay, they have Benassier, Chukwueze, they're both Chukwueze, who's going to be gone, but I don't really see it being much of an issue for them, considering Chukwueze doesn't start and Benassier has been injury prone for the last 2 seasons, and Milan's kind of figured out a way to kind of not, have to rely on him anymore. And Loftus-Cheek just kind of
he started doing well.
He started doing well, man. He fit in perfectly. Mm-hmm. He started off very strong. He still is strong. Like you see, Milan's a better team when he's there than when he's not there.
That guy Ryan Deers.
Right. I just hate him because of his face, but like
same. He doesn't look Dutch.
He's not good every game,
irritates me.
But he's had some solid performances where like, hey, you know what? He can cover a couple games. So like for Milan, they'll probably use it as an excuse, but bro, we got 2 guys away from Africa Cup, bro. What do you mean?
No, I was gonna say Milan, no matter what, they'll somehow then they'll somehow mention Mike Magnan.
Yeah.
Even though he's injured, and it's like,
but he's not, because he has to watch the African Cup, so he can't play.
His friends are doing well.
He can't play. No. Sorry, can't do it.
For me, I'd actually probably say, like, okay, yes, obviously, I agree with Roma as a Roma fan. Because like
I generally do, man. I didn't honestly. I would have said, "Fuck you, man. You guys would be fine."
No,
until that game when I heard that, I'm like, no, it can't be like that bad. No, I went on my phone, I went to go look, and I was like, dude, what the hell?
Because Maraj Kumbula, who sucks ass, even like he's still a center back. He won't be fit until I think February.
Yeah, because it's him. I think
Smalling needs to eat a piece of bacon because ever since he became a vegan, he's been injured.
Yeah.
So that literally leaves us with 2 true center backs.
Yeah.
Even if we played a 4-man back line, that means we have no center backs up.
Yeah.
Mancini
goes down?
Dude, Mancini hasn't trained with the team in 2 weeks, but has played at a game each time. Like, this guy's broken right now, and we need him to play, and he plays. So, obviously, I'm going to put Roma in that category. I'm going to also say Nottingham Forest. I think for me, that's probably what, like, because they're not, okay, they're obviously not competing to be top 4.
No.
But they're trying to battle relegation. They're only 5 points ahead. And if you look at the amount of players, they'll be missing 7 players.
Jesus.
7 players, 4 of which are their defenders. Now, okay, out of that 4, 2 of them are starters.
Still,
but it's still
that's
the
50%.
Principle. Exactly. And it's like, you look at that, it's like your hardest stretch now, you're going to be missing guys that are defending. A striker, like, okay, you look at Chelsea, they're missing Nico Jackson. Yeah, okay, I get it. But they still have Broha.
Yeah.
They still have
you
Nkunku
can figure it
who
all,
could slide there, Raheem Sterling,
Fucking
like
put
whatever.
Cole Palmer up there.
Yeah,
like,
they could do
make
something.
it work. Yeah,
But when you're missing defenders, I feel like that, or like a
I
goalie.
feel like Chelsea would do better off without fucking Nicholas
Oh, I
Jackson.
agree. They're going to be thriving without him. Nkunku's going to start every game. Raheem Sterling behind him and Cole Palmer over there.
Cole Palmer.
But like, it's like losing a defender or a goalie, I think is the hardest thing you could possibly do.
Oh yeah,
You know,
big
because
time,
they need time to like gel together, consistency and stuff like
man,
that.
for every team, like no matter if they're like the star or not, like that, your defense and goalie, like that main core, like that's the heartbeat of the team.
Yeah.
Like no matter which team you
There's
look
a
at,
reason
like,
why they say defense wins you championships. You have a good defense, like fuck, you could score as many goals as you want. If you can't hold a lead, then what does that mean?
Off topic of soccer, but look at the Leafs, like, for
No,
example.
I agree. Like, exactly.
They score 6 goals a game, but the other team scores
They
7.
have an unreal attack. They have who in net? Isn't it that Zamboni driver stuff?
No.
They lost.
The Leafs played the Zamboni driver and lost.
And he was a Leafs fan, apparently. But anyways,
he works for the Leafs.
It's fucking crazy. Only American sports allow shit like this to happen. Anyways,
imagine. Hold on, sorry. Before we move on, imagine like in the middle of the game, a goalie gets hurt. They got no more subs, and they got to throw like a ball boy in net or something.
You're like, hey, you're already being paid by us.
You look like the oldest. Get in here.
How tall are you? Yeah, go.
Yeah, you can cover it. You can cover as much more net than any of the guys here.
Hey, sometimes I wonder, maybe you need to take a leap of faith like that. Throw a random person in there, buddy. Just throw him in. Last question about this whole topic. Do you think that the fact that these players every 2 years they'll be missing a month or more of club level action kind of hinders their value as a player, like a guy like Salah? Do you think it's hindering his? Okay, maybe not. Salah.
No. Yeah, no. Okay, I get what you're asking, but yes, no, not like Salah, because that's a bad example. But no, I first of all, with this kind of question, I have 2 things. One, I feel like it does lower their value because beginning of this year, so let's say a top team or whatever, or it doesn't matter, anybody. They're looking at a player. Okay, we want to send this guy for the midfield. We need a starter. He checks all the boxes. He fits here perfectly. Let's make a push for him. Oh, wait, he's African. Going to be missing, 2 months in the year. Do we want to put, all of our eggs in that one basket? Or, maybe we go for somebody else and, maybe not at that level, but we'll pick up him and somebody else. It can maybe kind of spread the money. So, yeah, it could have an effect on their value. And if players people will actually look at these players. Yeah.
There's a rumor with Pep Guardiola, apparently. Like that's why he tries to just stick with buying European and South American players. Because of this mid-season tournament,
it can fuck you, man. Like you said, man, with Liverpool, they missed 2 of their star players, like the best players on that team at that time, for 2 months. Yeah. For a competition, 2 months. And you still have to play games. It's not like your game stopped. Those games keep going. Those guys are gone.
And that's the thing. It's a tournament setting. So like those players are expected to give 100%.
Yeah, they can't just go there, Michaela. I need to get home as fast as I can. Let's fucking get this over with.
Yeah,
let's get out.
They're expected. So like it's even more draining than playing like. Okay, I'm not saying any game is easy. Obviously, you want your players to give 100%. But in a do or die situation, you're bound to give more.
You're gonna give. You're always gonna give more in a do or die situation. Yeah, it doesn't matter what game it is. When it's like that kind of game that it's this or you're going home, you're always gonna give it 110%.
Yeah.
The second thing I was gonna add about that thing there, which still to this day, Joes, I do not understand how this year, what's happening in the summertime?
The
Euro Cup.
And Copa America.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Why not have the Africa Cup as well?
I think that actually has to do with weather. I'm not sure, actually. That's a good question, because wasn't the World Cup in South Africa?
Yeah, in the summertime.
In the summertime, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Only issue was Qatar, and that was understandable because in the summertime it's like 70 degrees there.
Looks, I was thinking maybe like I've actually never considered that. I never thought about that.
Like what's the reasoning that they have to put it in the middle of a season and they cannot change it to have it in the summer like every other competition? So it's like, hey, this year it's a Euro Cup, Copa America, AFCON year. Oh, okay. Hey, we're all playing at the same time. You got to start the same. Yeah. Even if you guys
agree.
Start 2 weeks after, 2 weeks or whatever it is. But you play in the summertime, man. You let them play their season. You don't interrupt it. They finish it. Okay, hey, now we're gonna go do this. Now we're going to play the cup. That's it. Simple. Yeah. But no, they got to. Hey, let's start right in the middle.
I'm not even gonna lie. It's kind of crazy you say that because I have never once even thought about that. Like not even half of a time.
That's it. That's the only thing. That's the only thing I think of more than the Roman Empire.
No, I think about the Roman
That's the only thing I think about more. I'm like, man, why doesn't AFCON play in the summertime?
Nah, dude.
This makes no sense.
Well, because I was legit like thinking like I didn't even second guess it because I'm
'Cause
like,
then you
oh,
thought
the
you thought
weather.
the weather.
Yeah. Like, oh, climates there are gonna be like excessively hot, blah blah blah, whatever. But now that you say like, wait, like it literally clued into my own head. South Africa World Cup 2010.
Yep.
Was in the summertime.
Yep.
And I'm trying to remember, did they take water breaks? Even if they
Joe,
didn't.
even if they did take water breaks, you add water breaks
I was
in the
gonna
game.
say, yeah.
They do it all the time for when it's hot. It's not like you're changing the game.
That's a very good point. And in Asia, does Asia get okay? Call me uncultured. That's fine. I live in North America.
Yes, Joe, they do get hot.
But how hot does it get in Asia?
Not that hot. Nowhere near Saudi Arabia.
I picture like Japan to be like England almost, weather wise.
Yeah, I feel like that. It's very
like,
similar.
Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm uncultured. Yell at me afterwards.
I wouldn't say it's nowhere near like a Saudi or a Qatar.
Yeah. Well,
it's not like that. But
crazy.
it's they have their. I mean, either way, both places have the weather to be played in the summertime.
Maybe it's like to try to get entertainment or like spread awareness
in the middle of a season. You'd get more viewers if you did at the end of the season when nobody's focusing on the league.
But what would you rather watch? Copa America, Euro, AFCON, or
but
Asia?
Joe, you're gonna get the people from that nation to watch that. People now, you think people are gonna watch? Are you gonna watch a league game or are you gonna watch an AFCON game?
Depends.
I'd rather watch
Nottingham
Forest versus West Ham
depends on the day. Like midweek, if there's an AFCON
Cameroon
game,
versus
you're right. Actually,
Egypt.
When I see like some of the teams in AFCON, respectfully to Africa,
I'm gonna watch Egypt for one player.
Yeah,
like respectfully, that's the only player I would care about to watch the game.
There was a point. There was genuinely a point with African football. I could look at you and say, like, I love a lot of African players. Like Cote d'Ivoire during that era, Nigeria,
Ghana,
because Guadua, Samoa Gian, like whatever. But like now, I feel like the teams that were at the top for Africa when we were growing up
they suck.
Yeah,
they're nothing now.
Like Algeria's become the top dog. Senegal, Senegal's always been decent, but like.
No, I know what you mean. Now it's just we gotta do some.
I'm gonna actually look into this.
We're gonna figure out why.
We're gonna get roasted in the comments. So like, even if I make this a clip, I already know I'm gonna get torched. I got torched about women's soccer.
I don't know why it's not played in the summertime,
and I'm down to get torched.
I'm always down to get torched.
But speaking of getting torched, it's our favorite time of the
champions.
It has nothing to do with Champions League.
Well, technically,
kind of it could, but like
this episode, Joe, it's about Mr. Champions League himself,
Alvaro Morata.
Yeah, Cristiano.
Anyways, before I an aneurysm and tears fall down my face, we're going to build a team again.
But different
of
this
players
week.
That his guy
played with Mr.
that have played alongside Cristiano Ronaldo.
No full team of left backs, no full team of right backs. Not this week. We're getting real players, real positions, but only if they played with Ronaldo.
Yes, with some sort of stipulations here. Yeah. We're gonna try to keep it okay. It was between Messi and Ronaldo. Ronaldo played on more teams, so it's more fun to do it because now we could choose more than one team.
Eventually we're probably going to do a team of people that played with Messi or that have assisted Messi or something like that.
That'd be pretty cool, actually, assisting Messi. Kenneth Taylor would be
do a lot of research.
Jordi Alba would be like his number one. But anyways,
man, I got an idea. I got one.
Yeah, for next time. We can't tell them right now.
Oh, it's true. Keep a secret.
I was gonna say, what the heck, dude?
Shimbarogi.
Anyways, so yeah, we're gonna try to limit the teams we use. We're gonna players we use from each team. We're gonna try to limit it to like 3 or 4. Obviously, with our zero ball knowledge that we do have, we get to choose from Sporting, Portugal, Real Madrid, United, Juve, and Al Nassr.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone on Al Nassr. I should.
Let's do max 3 per team. Doesn't have to be 3, but we'll just do a max of 3 just to kind of keep it a little bit spicy.
Yeah. So, do you want me to start things off or do you want to start things off?
You can start things off.
Start things off. I assume usual 4-3-3. 4-3-3. 4-3-3.
Start with the goalie, baby.
I'm going to start with the goalie. They played together at youth level. He is a Canadian boy. He was also my oldest brother's friend. I found this out afterwards because he used to always tell me, and then he showed me the
Canada
picture.
proud.
But we always have to represent Canada. We always have to represent the Portuguese community within Canada as well. Even though we're not Portuguese, we just love them. We still love as much as they love us. Anyways, the first guy we're gonna go with in net, we're gonna go with John Paul Peaks. Now, if you don't know Peaks, he's also a Vine star. Well, when Vine was big, he was a Vine star.
He's an internet celebrity.
Now he's like just a Canadian actor, internet celebrity. Like he's pretty out there. Like a lot of people in Canada know him. Probably know him more than
not as known as Ronaldo, but he's very well
still
known,
there,
especially in Canada.
And you always have to give support to people you know that have made it to that level.
Our fellow Canadians.
Yeah. So they played together on Sporting and youth levels, and now,
all right,
Peaks. Okay. Congratulations, you made that all-time 11 for us.
All right, so I'm gonna start off on the left back. Okay. Probably gonna be a little bit obvious over here, but got to be in the team. One of Ronaldo's best teammates. Got to go with Marcelo.
Oh,
I thought I was gonna go Uncle Pat. Didn't
I thought you were gonna.
Yeah, I knew you did. As Joe was, I was gonna say Juve. No, man, Marcelo.
It's funny because before we did this, and we were like, whatever. The only names Al mentioned to me, he didn't mention anyone. Only Juve players.
Alexandro, Bernadeschi.
Buffon's obviously gonna go in there, right? I'm just like, okay, so this is gonna be Juve.
I didn't want to use up all my Juve players yet,
but I like it. I respect it. I like it. I rate it. All right, left back Marcelo, good choice. Center back.
Oh, right back, whatever one.
No, I'm gonna go with center back.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with a Portuguese player that he played with on Portugal. It's kind of a cop out, I get it, but I feel like this guy's not talked about. We don't talk about him, and I do rate him highly. Probably one of Portugal's best center backs to ever play, in my opinion. I'm gonna go with Ricardo Carvalho.
Okay.
Again, I'm pretty sure they also maybe
they played on Real Madrid together. No,
I don't think so. I think the timelines. I think he was at Chelsea at that point. But if I'm pretty sure he might have played with him on Real Madrid as well.
That's what I just said.
I could be wrong though. I'm just trying to think of timelines in my head.
Okay.
And I don't know because I'm trying to think. Mourinho brought him over,
but they played together on Portugal.
Portugal, at least at a minimum. So we'll go with that logic that I have or knowledge. Sorry,
he is a teammate. And
Ricardo
second center back that will be linking up with Carvalho is somebody that I like. I like to think that I know very well. He goes by the name of Giorgio Chiellini. Yeah, Joe. What better center back partner than Giorgio?
No, I agree. I will never bash Giorgio Chiellini. I will never bash him.
Exactly.
So I will say, okay.
Go right back now.
Let's go with a right back. All right. This, to me, is probably tough because I feel like it's going to be a lot of biting my tongue, but it isn't biting my tongue at the same time. You know? I don't know if this is allowed. I'm going to say this name. If not, obviously I'll change it up. I'm going to go with Sergio Ramos at right back.
That's what I was thinking too. That's fine.
If that's not okay.
No. He was a right back. I mean, he played right back too on Madrid. Maybe not at the same time when Ronaldo got there.
Yeah, that's
but he was still right back. It's the same thing. Like I'll always consider Maldini also a left back as he was a center back.
Okay, so we agree there, Sergio Ramos. I feel like it'd be a sin not to have him with Ronaldo. It's like Marcelo, Ronaldo. You need them together too. But anyways,
100%. I'll keep him in that for
cheers.
Cheers for
Jeff.
sure. Okay, so now we're in the midfield. So I mean, first person got to start off strong. Fellow Ballon d'Or winner. I'm gonna go with Luka Modric. First center mid.
So our 3 Real Madrid picks are done.
Yeah. Well, not really.
No, they are done.
How?
They are done.
How?
Marcelo.
Yeah.
Sergio Ramos.
Oh yeah.
Luka Modric.
Yeah.
3 done.
So no more Madrid.
No more Madrid, which is fine because the guy I was thinking about didn't actually play on Real Madrid.
Okay.
So we're making progress here. My other center mid that I am going to go with. That timeline didn't make sense, actually. No, never mind. I can't say his name. Okay, so the other option I had, United, I am going to go with Paul Scholes. Don't rate him as highly as everybody else does. I'm sorry. But he is still one of the great players that played alongside Ronaldo.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll throw him in there. Paul Scholes, Manchester United.
I think that's That's pretty fair. Okay, so for my last center mid, I'm gonna go with someone that they didn't spend time together on the
Gets a lot harder than you think because you only picture Ronaldo.
Okay,
two
I know who I'm gonna
teams.
go with. Sorry, I was contemplating. I was gonna do two, and I was like, wait, did they play together? Okay, definitely didn't. Maybe Nicky Butt. No, not Nicky Butt. The guy I'm gonna go with, not a teammate club ever, but Portugal, good teammates, good friends, great time. Probably one of the best right now. Doesn't get the appreciation he deserves. Bernardo Silva.
Oof, yeah,
as my other center mid.
I do love Bernardo Silva. I think Bernardo Silva is one of like the most underrated players.
Oh yeah,
like all time.
Easy.
Okay, Bernardo Silva.
Okay, so top three.
So then top three.
Oh, sorry, left wing or striker or right wing, whatever you want to start with.
I'm gonna. I want to say left wing, but I don't know if you'll allow me to put this guy left wing. And it's a guy I love. Just because I love yelling his name.
I'll put him. Whatever.
Because he did play left wing.
As long as they're a winger, I'm fine with it.
Okay, you ready?
As long as you're like not like whatever. Someone that's a striker, and you're like,
No.
Okay,
He is the. I can't even say the greatest anymore. The second greatest Uruguayan to ever play the game. It is none other than Diego Forlan. Diego Forlan, baby.
Took me okay, man. That kind of didn't think you were gonna go that route.
No, I love Forlan. Forlan, if I could put him in every team,
I'll
give
it to you.
I would 100%.
I will definitely give it to you.
And he played on him with United.
Okay, so now I'll go with striker, and so many names I want to go with.
You know what?
But I think
you already know what you're gonna do. I know what you're gonna do.
Tell me what I'm gonna do.
You're gonna go with Tevez or Dybala or.
Actually, nope. So originally, my plan was if I got a striker, I was probably gonna do Rooney, Captain Waza.
Why did I forget about him?
You know what I mean? Because it's Rooney, and
fucking bad at this.
Rooney was phenomenal.
Okay,
but there was one player that Ronaldo played with that was a little bit more prolific than him, known for his goal getting ability and his finishing ability.
Rude
Gonzalo Higuain. Yeah, didn't see that one coming, buddy. Didn't think so.
You can't say him though.
Why? They played together at Juve, you idiot. Yeah, not just Madrid, man. I wasn't even thinking about Madrid. I forgot they played together in Madrid together. I completely forgot about that, actually. I was purely thinking about Juve. I was actually going to go with Dybala, but then you made fun of me and said I was going to go with Dybala, so I went with Higuain, which I'm perfectly happy with because Higuain can finish everything as long as he's not wearing an Argentina jersey. He can finish anything.
Shit, I'm kind of mad at myself.
I'm also mad because as you're scrolling down this list right now, I completely forgot when I had my center mid. I was trying to think of Juve. I'm like, dude, who the no, not even. I saw Ozil too, but fuck that guy, man. I was thinking about fucking Rabbi Goat.
Yeah, but
I forgot they played together. I forgot Rabbi Goat and Ronaldo Goat played together.
See, like this is where it gets tough for me because we screwed up with the Real Madrid picks. Because like if I'm going to
go Gareth Bale now.
I would have actually, yes, probably.
Fuck that guy,
either
man.
Gareth Bale or Di Maria.
Yeah, well, hey, well, you know
honestly,
what? You know what? Hey, it's gonna be a little bit harder now for you, buddy.
Well, what about Jesse Rodriguez? I don't know who that is actually anymore. Jesse he was supposed to be the next Ronaldo. Okay, yeah. Right wing. This is tough.
Couldn't even go like his Al Nazir teammate.
I don't know anyone on Al Nazir. I don't.
The one guy that we mentioned.
Anderson Talisca?
Nope. The one that's going to the African Cup.
Who?
Sadio Mane. He's the best footballer in the world.
Yeah, he's a bum.
I'm being shady.
Right wing. Oh, dude. Wait. How many?
We're still good with United and Juve. So
What about Portugal?
One. Portugal only said 2. Carvalho and thing.
All right. Perfect. Figured it out.
What are you going with?
He was a part of that 2006 Champagne football, that video that's circulating all around the football community, that he was the Batman to his Robin.
Batien and Rohan.
Mr. Luis Figo.
R.I.P. Not a bad show. Not a bad. I knew you were heading there. At first, I thought you were gonna go with Nat. I thought you were gonna say Nani.
I'm not gonna lie. I was thinking Nani, but then I'm like, wait, no, wasn't Nani left mid?
No,
but like back up to Ronaldo. Then I started debating.
Then they both played together. They both played together, and he played on the right, and like they played together. That's all that is.
Yeah, but I started getting too stuck in my own head to even try to pull Nani out, and I was thinking like through and through right winger. Who the frick do I choose?
No, that is definitely a good choice.
Like Di Maria, don't get me wrong, but I actually do love Di Maria. Too.
Yeah,
so like I would have.
And they didn't play on Juve together. So
no, they didn't play on Juve together. They didn't play on United together. Only Real Madrid.
Only Madrid.
So it would have screwed me over. And Di Maria is a Benfica merchant.
You could have said Garnacho or Anthony.
Fucking fidget spinner. Dude, I saw a video.
Technically, we could have even said Casemiro too. Because I'm United. They played together.
Yeah. See, this is what pisses me off about when we do these teams.
If you don't think about
when we're in the moment, it's like, shit, I'm drawing a blank.
I know, but I like it.
I don't know what's going on anymore. I'll panic. I'll maybe go on my phone. You go on your phone and try to figure it out. But before, when you said, oh, yeah, let's do a team full of players that play with Ronaldo.
You're coming to your head.
I already had it. I had the most unorthodox people. I think I even had a Sporting starting 11 in my head. I come here and it's like, oh, shit, wait.
Who did he play with?
Like, stupid shit. Like Tevez. Did he play with Tevez on Juve? No. That was United.
No. United. They never played together on Juve. Tevez left Juve a while before.
We should have said fucking Berbatov.
That would have been a good show. That would have been another good
power
show.
Lifter. That guy was a weapon. See, dude,
he moved so crazy. He moved. Actually, I saw a video about him today. It's funny enough. You little silly crazy guy. Anyways, guys, I think on that note, and I mean, obviously, this goes without saying who the coach is on the team.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Jose Mourinho.
Oh. Well, guys, I think that's the episode.
No, it is.
I think Mourinho goes to coach Portugal after this, so I don't think he can coach Ronaldo's team.
He's going to Saudi Arabia.
Guys, if you haven't already, don't forget to follow us on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram at AltXI. Don't forget to check out our YouTube channel. Leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment. We're always reading them. We're always going to respond. Just feel free to share. Chirp us, chirp Joe, chirp me. Who gives a fuck? We love it all. And yeah, guys, it's a brand new year. We constantly keep saying we're going to be pushing it, but our goal this year is, really to push a lot of our content on YouTube, and for you guys to see, a different side of us, get to kind of know us a little bit better, and just, what we love best, soccer. We love talking about it. We want to share it with you guys, and we want a little bit of, interaction and just to grow this thing together.
That's true. The fame does.
We're gonna be at the World Cup 2026.
That's the goal.
I'm manifesting
man. That's
it.
The goal.
We're gonna be there. So hey, only up from here.
Yeah. When we started this, it wasn't even so. It wasn't even so much like the oh, let's get famous. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's make all the money in the world. Like
experiences.
Our honest to God thing was literally just
like
we grew up playing this game. We talk about it 24/7. We love talking to random people. Like when I used to go to clubs, Al could attest to this. He'd be with me.
I did the same thing.
We'd go outside to get a breath of fresh air or whatever, because it's a sweat box in there. And second
we'd hear a British accent. We're both like,
see you later.
Turn around. What team you support?
Yeah. See you later.
Like, hey, how's it going, man? Having a good night. What do you hear? No. Hey, what team you support over there?
It's literally just like a lifestyle.
Me and Joe, we had too much passion in the sport not to share with everybody else. So, this year we'd love, to get to know our fans a little bit more, interact with you guys, maybe have an interview with one of our fans. Yeah. So, we'll see what the future brings.
We'll
but
get
guys,
the lads on the podcast.
On that note,
we're friendly.
We'll hear you next week. We'll see you next week. Let's see if I make this week. Well, still not playing basketball. I'm just going to stick to soccer. Ciao, guys. RJ Barrett's finally home. See you next week.
Later, guys.
Later.